Dolly Mapp was a young woman who became involved with the illegal gambling operations of mobster Shonda Burns, who dominated organized crime in Cleveland in the 1940s and 1950s. On May 23, 1957, Cleveland police received an anonymous tip that a man named Virgil Ogletree might be found in Mapp's house, along with illegal betting slips and equipment employed in a numbers game set up by Mapp's boyfriend. 3 policemen went to Mapp's house and asked for permission to enter, but Mapp, after consulting her lawyer by telephone, refused to admit them without a search warrant. 2 officers left and 1 remained watching the house from across the street. 3 hours later, more police officers arrived and knocked on the door. When Mapp did not answer, they forced the door open. Mapp asked to see their search warrant and was shown a piece of paper, which she snatched away from the officer, putting it inside her dress. The officers struggled with Mapp and recovered the piece of paper, which was not seen by her or her lawyers again. It was not introduced as evidence in any of the ensuing court proceedings. As the search of Mapp's second-floor, 2-bedroom apartment began, police handcuffed her for being belligerent. The police searched the house thoroughly and discovered Ogletree, who was subsequently in the search of Mapp's apartment and in a footlocker in the basement of the house. The police found betting slips. They also found a pistol and a small number of pornographic books and pictures, which Mapp stated a previous tenant had left behind. The police arrested Mapp and charged her with a misdemeanor count of possessing numbered game paraphernalia, but she was acquitted. Mapp was found guilty at the trial of knowingly having had in her possession and under her control certain lewd and lascivious books, pictures, and photographs in violation of Ohio's revised code, and sentenced to 1 to 7 years in prison. Mapp was convicted even though prosecutors were unable to provide a valid search warrant. She appealed to the Supreme Court of Ohio, which affirmed her conviction because even though the search warrant's validity was doubtful and the police's search of her home was illegal, the police officers had not used brutal force against her, and so under the Supreme Court's precedents in Wolf and Rochen, the exclusionary rule did not have to apply. Mapp then appealed to the U.S. Supreme Court, which agreed to hear her case. Kearns appealed the case to the U.S. Supreme Court, contending that Mapp's conviction violated her constitutional rights. At the invitation of the court, Cleveland attorney Bernard A. Berkman, representing the American Civil Liberties Union, also submitted a brief. During the oral argument, he urged the High Court to examine the constitutionality of search and seizure uses in state courts. Since federal courts prohibited the use of illegally obtained evidence, the Supreme Court's 5-4 decision overturned Mapp's conviction on the grounds that evidence seized without a search warrant cannot be used in the state criminal prosecution under the 4th Amendment to the Constitution, which protects against unreasonable search and seizures, and the 14th Amendment, which extends that protection to state jurisdictions. Police are now allowed to only search property, including houses and cars, with only probable cause, like running a canine outside, smelling illegal substances, or seeing something suspicious through the window. If a policeman does not follow these protocols, then they are intruding on the 4th Amendment. The 4th Amendment is held very highly.